you want to win clients and build your personal brand on LinkedIn, you just clicked on the perfect video. I've been fortunate enough to build a loyal following on the platform, one that generates me millions of impressions every single month and has allowed me to win over 100 high-ticket clients on the platform. And so I figured today I would just show you exactly what I did to accomplish that. Now, if I was you right now, I might be wondering, did this guy just get lucky though? Maybe he just happened to jump on LinkedIn at the perfect time. Maybe he buys followers. Definitely don't, which might be understandable if I hadn't replicated the same level of success with dozens and dozens of other businesses here, where I showed them things like how to go from just a few likes per post to hundreds, from generating 0 leads to making LinkedIn their #1 platform for winning new clients. And to do all of this, you need to learn 3 simple things. Number 1, how to post the right type of content that drives business results and that the algorithm loves, which by the way has dramatically changed in the past year, but definitely even in the past few months. And number 2, how to set up a proper LinkedIn funnel that converts profile views, engagers, and even lurkers into paid clients. And no, I'm not talking about like the sleazy sales funnel that people get in that they never want to be in, that just spams them constantly, or automating your DMs, or getting them on an email marketing drip campaign that ends up annoying them. This is more about the customer buyer journey, and showing up for them in the best way we possibly can also helps us generate more business for our company. And number 3, how to start social selling the right way on LinkedIn that helps you book meetings with potential customers your first 30 days on the platform. The content and some of the other things, yes, they're going to take time to build brand, even though there's some immediate things we can do. But with the social selling strategies that I'm about to show you, this can happen within the first week or 2. The first 30 days, you can start booking calls and even winning clients. Oh, and as a bonus and part of that number 3, I'm going to reveal to you the secondary LinkedIn feed that almost no one knows about, but has your ideal clients in it. And yes, that's a real thing, not the feed that you would see when you log into LinkedIn. There's a secondary one that you can create and build out that only has your ideal clients and leads in there. Full disclosure, this is not some vague video where I give advice like, you need to post valuable content that appeals to your target clients on LinkedIn, or you need to update your headshot and that's going to magically get clients running to you. Way too obvious. It's fluff content and it's not going to help you get real results. The stuff that we're talking about in this video is tangible things that we've used over the last almost 5 years now to dominate the platform, win clients, and build our personal brand here. So let's get into it. So let's start with number 1, how to post the right type of content on LinkedIn to drive results and that the algorithm loves, which I've said in the beginning, this has dramatically changed. This is one thing where in terms of the type of content that they're now favoring and that is getting the most reach is not the same type of content that it was a year or 2 ago. So as part of number 1, I'm going to go into 3 kind of subcategories just to keep this super clean and easy to understand. The first one is the algorithm basics. I just want to talk a little bit about the LinkedIn algorithm, how it works, and some things that you definitely want to keep in mind on this platform. The second one is the message. So what should you be talking about on LinkedIn? And then the third one is the mediums. So what mediums or styles of content perform best, and then how this has dramatically changed even recently. So algorithm basics. And I confirmed a lot of this when I spoke with a manager at LinkedIn. And I've had a lot of conversations with experts at LinkedIn. The obvious things are what they call the viral actions, which are likes, comments, shares, saves, things like that. I think we all know that the more likes you get, the more comments you get, the more shares and saves. Of course, that's going to signal to the algorithm that yes, this post, there's something good about it. People like it, they're favoring it. Let's push it out to more people. Typically on LinkedIn, it'll push out content to your first degree connections, the people that follow you. If that goes well and people start liking and engaging with it, it'll push it out to second degree connections, which are people that you're not connected directly to, but you have the same first degree connections. And then if it does well past that, it starts pushing it out to the third degree connections, which you have no mutual connections from, which means at that point, you're probably like going mini viral, if not full on viral. But recently, what I confirmed with LinkedIn was that watch time and retention and interest-based content, relevancy, these are all now playing a role, especially with this new video feed that they have. And I got to say this because this is really important as it pertains to LinkedIn and getting your content to perform better. And this concept is different than any other platform, at least to my knowledge. I don't think there's any others that operate like this. The more you engage with other people's content, the more your content will tend to perform. Now, I'm not saying you can put out crap content and just engage all day and have unbelievable amounts of success. But what I'm saying, and we've tested this out many, many times, if you engage quite heavily on the platform, let's say 10, 20 comments a day on different posts, when you go to post, because it's a community-driven platform, there's the reciprocity of just people saying, oh, I see your content now, you engage on mine, I'm gonna engage on yours. But also, I believe there's something more to it. I can't confirm this 100% from witnessing it so many times. I think there's something to the actual algorithm where it just helps you get more noticed the more you're engaging with other people's content. So we're gonna talk about what that looks like on number 3 when we get to more of the social selling stuff. But I wanna just put that out there. Big mistake people make on LinkedIn. They jump on the platform. First 30 days, they start posting content. They engage with almost no one's content. There's no reciprocity. It doesn't signal to the algorithm that they're an active engager and community member, and therefore their posts end up in a black hole and get seen by nobody. We'll get into some best practices later on how much you should engage and who you should engage with and all that stuff, so stay tuned. So we just covered the algorithm basics. Now we're covering the second part of this subcategory, which is the message. So what should you be talking about on LinkedIn? LinkedIn's been pretty public about what they want you to talk about on the platform. Obviously, it's up to you. You can talk about whatever the hell you want. But if you want to drive business and really get the most out of your post, they've said that they really want more educational, professional type content. They call it advice from experts. So what doesn't work and has worked in the past is people try to go viral and they'll post a picture of their kids or their family on vacation or something like that. And it's more of a casual viral type post to try to get a lot of attention. LinkedIn really is going away from that, and they're going more towards, we want advice from experts that have real insights and stories and things to share, educational knowledge that they can share with an audience. Just want you guys to keep that in mind. Don't think you need to go on there and be Mr. or Mrs. Influencer and post anything that's going to grab attention. LinkedIn really is moving away from that and trying to provide valuable content to the members on the platform. One thing that makes the LinkedIn platform different is that it's a business platform. It's a B2B social media app. There's none other like that. And so I think they really want to do a nice job of staying in that niche and making sure they don't become like a Facebook. So we're going to get to the profile and kind of building out that funnel here in a second, where I'll talk about what that should look like. But really, your profile should match up with the type of content that you're posting in the feed, more than not. I'm not saying you can never post anything personal or about your family or like that. Of course you can, but I would say consistency with the educational advice from your area of expertise, definitely important. Plus, you want to build credibility and trust with your ideal clients. You're not going to do that posting about random stuff with you and your family. You're going to post about things that are helping people uncover a gap they didn't know about, sharing insights that helps them do something better, helps them accomplish a goal, solve a problem. These are all things that people are going to book calls with you because they see you as an expert that can help solve their problems. So the third subcategory here under what type of content to post is the mediums. So what I'm going to do is go through each type of content that you can post on LinkedIn and then just rate them for effectiveness based on the medium. And remember, our goal here is to build personal brand, to win new clients, and grow the business. Let's start with text post on LinkedIn. Used to dominate the feeds. All you saw was text post a few years back. Very little video, very little picture. The polls weren't really a thing at that point. No carousels. It was just pretty much a text platform. In today's day and age, with the emergence of the other mediums that we're going to get into here in a second, text has really taken a backseat. I don't know if it's going to disappear totally, but it just doesn't hit the same way it used to with the different types of dynamic content in there. It's relatively easy to create because think about it, you can just sit behind your desk and just type stuff. And obviously it's got to be a well-crafted text post. You need a good hook in the first line, so they click see more, which is going to signal to the algorithm, more dwell time, people sitting on the post. That's all good. Line breaks in there. Maybe you're telling a good story, listicles, you're teaching. It's got to be a well-written post. I just think text in a lot of ways, it just doesn't have the same punch with the other mediums. Next up, we've got polls. So polls were super hot maybe a couple of years ago, a few years ago, where LinkedIn was pushing them out because it was a brand new type of content that you couldn't have posted before. They did get a lot of reach for a long time. That has very much come down. You don't see a lot of polls anymore. I personally don't post polls. I don't encourage a lot of my clients to do it. Do I think that you should never do it? No. Do I think there's a time and a place to post a poll? Yes. You may want to get feedback from your audience. You may be releasing something soon. Maybe it's a new podcast, a new product or service, a new type of content, a new channel, whatever it is. And maybe you want your audience to weigh in on it. Or maybe you're talking about a key problem that your business solves. For example, I could be talking about, hey, what's your biggest hurdle for getting on video? And I may list off like the fear of getting on video and looking stupid or my insecurities. I could list off, I really don't know what to talk about. I could list off I don't have the right equipment, which would be a massive excuse because you just need a smartphone or something else, right? So that's kind of the value of the poll, but am I putting it as a core part of the content strategy on LinkedIn? Absolutely not. Next up is picture posts. And for quite some time, picture posts were actually some of the highest performing content on LinkedIn, because what they did is they took what worked really well in the past, text post, written words, copywriting, and it added an emotional spin to it. So I would teach our clients, and I've done a ton of these myself, where you would post a good picture that emotionally tied in with the copy. Maybe it was a story about you building your business or a client success story or whatever it might be. And then what we did is we tied them back into the business, maybe a call to action at the end, and then it would typically convert pretty well to leads. So there's still a place for a picture post, but I think they're number 2 compared to this other medium, which has now easily become number 1 on the LinkedIn platform. And that medium, as you probably can guess, is carousel. Just kidding. No, it's video. Video is now dominating the LinkedIn feeds. And from our experience of posting around 10 videos every single week on the platform, and from clients posting 3 to 5 videos a week on the platform each, we're seeing more reach now with videos than any other type of content we've ever seen before in the history of LinkedIn. So previously, on an average video, we might get 3,000 to 75,000 on the very high end if something like blew up from a video standpoint. But I would say mostly it was like 3K to 12K was a typical video impressions. Now we're seeing most of them are doing at least 10K impressions, all the way up to 125, 150,000 impressions per video. We're seeing it with our clients' videos too. And these are founders and CEOs that are starting off that have really never posted content or definitely not videos on LinkedIn before. We recently had a client who's 2 weeks into posting and had 2 videos reach over 50,000 impressions each. And of course, also turning into comments, engagement, conversations, lead opportunities, and a lot of other good things from a business standpoint. But just to show you how, I've been creating videos for quite some time. People who are just now hitting the feeds for the first time are benefiting greatly from the reach with video. And I would say the reach started really picking up after LinkedIn introduced this new TikTok style video feed that just wasn't there before. So clearly they want videos to win. And just to clarify, because this is a little bit confusing if you're not super familiar with LinkedIn, there are 2 feeds to LinkedIn. So one, you may open up the LinkedIn app and you may see just the home page where you're going to see text post, picture post, videos. When you click on one of those videos, it should take you to what they call the TikTok style LinkedIn video feed. That is going to be a feed where you scroll and it feels very Instagram Reels and TikTok like, where it's all videos, copies at the bottom. It's not as relevant versus copies at the top and the normal LinkedIn feed. Some people even already have that video button at the bottom of their mobile app, at the bottom of the feed, that you click on video and then it takes you right into the feed. Some people do not have that yet, but I want to make that clear because there is 2 different types of feeds on the platform now. Does this become one at some point? The interesting thing with the video feed is you're starting to see videos from people that you've never interacted before with on LinkedIn. You've never engaged with, you're not connected to. So I think what it's leaning towards, and I've confirmed this a little bit with LinkedIn themselves, is more of the interest-based graph, which would be consistent with the TikToks, the Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. The traditional feed is more of like a social graph, which would be like an old school Facebook feed or old school Instagram feed, where it's more showing you people that follow you, you're connected to, you engage with. From a video standpoint on LinkedIn, I know you're going to ask this question, what type of video should you be creating? 9:16. That's vertical, short form videos. I'd probably go, even though you can definitely go longer or shorter, I'd probably go around 60 seconds or less for most people that are just starting off creating videos. And the 2 most important things with your videos, as it is with the other platforms as well, is number 1, you have to snatch up attention with a good hook in the first second or 2, and then a message that delivers on that hook that you made. That's your promise in the first few seconds. You're promising to an audience that you're going to give them something or talk about something intriguing to them, share an insight, or whatever it is. That message should deliver on that while sharing expert opinions and advice. We are currently going all in on video. I was posting, I think around 3, maybe 4 videos a week on LinkedIn. We've upped it to 10. And what have we seen as a result of that? More impressions than I've ever had in my entire life. Engagement percentages are through the roof. Inbound leads through the platform are through the roof. And as a result, new clients and revenue coming in the door. It's funny when you look at the graph because you can see exactly when we started the strategy and like it went like this, it was like this, and then poof. So that should be inspiring to anybody that is either already creating videos and wants to move it to LinkedIn, or maybe you haven't done videos, but you're thinking about doing it on LinkedIn. You definitely want to do it. All right, so moving on to number 2, how to set up the right LinkedIn funnel that converts profile views, engagers, new connections into paying clients without being all salesy and sleazy. And hey, before I get into that, a quick timeout, pause on the video. If you're getting value from this video, please like and subscribe to this channel. This allows us to create other free videos just like this, where we're just giving away our best knowledge and insights and the things that we're learning on a daily basis to you because we want you to win. Thank you very much. And now back to the video. So setting up your LinkedIn funnel. When I look at a new client, right, somebody signs up with us and I look at and review their LinkedIn profile, the first question I ask is, first of all, can I even tell what you do? Is the messaging clear? We're going to get into some of that. But secondly, where are you trying to take people? Can you answer that question? Because if you ask me that question, I can go boom, 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 1, 2, 3. I can clearly articulate that answer. It may be one thing, it may be two, max it's 3. But you need to clearly say, hey, when someone lands on my LinkedIn profile, this is exactly where I'm trying to take them. And there may be a couple different things based on where they're at in the customer buyer journey, and that's totally fine. And that's why our funnel isn't like rigid and like only one option and we want to squeeze them through this thing. It's more about the customer buyer journey, and we want to make sure they feel valued and get what they need so they can make a good, solid decision. So the first thing you're going to want to look at is as soon as they land on there, on your profile, they're making a split-second judgment. So let's think about your headline on LinkedIn. This is a really important part to get your messaging right. When you're scrolling in the feed or someone sees your content in the feed, or you've commented on someone else and they see you because of that, you've got maybe 6 to 8 words that will show up on that headline. So to me, it's not the time to be all clever and creative and say some cool stuff, but nobody really knows what it is. To me, that's the time to get very clear on what you do and the value prop that you provide to your customers. So think about what is the end result or the transformation that you provide as a company, as a business, and try to fit that within the first 6 to 8 words. At minimum, someone has an idea as to what you do and the results that you provide. Once you get past that, you can add on other things, but those first 6 to 8 words are critical. And then you've got your banner, which is that top rectangle picture once someone clicks on your profile. And usually my suggestion there is to make sure you've got a one-liner statement that talks about the benefits and the results or transformations that you get for your client. So again, ultra clear. I don't want to create any confusion. I want to know, oh, you're the person that does this. You're the company that provides this transformation. Got it. Not the time to be ultra creative and clever. This is the time to be clear. And then typically you can have a picture or a visual to go with that if you want. Picture of yourself, the founder, the company, the logo. You can add other things on there too, but I think that one-liner statement is the most important thing. A couple of other settings I would do while you're on the LinkedIn profile. One, make sure you got creator mode turned on. I almost think this is becoming like a non-negotiable. Everyone should have this turned on. But if you don't, tap that on. And then what you want to do is you want to add a custom button. So you can see that at the very end. You actually might need Sales Navigator, a LinkedIn product, to access this. But if you go to edit intro, scroll all the way down, you'll see edit custom button. And that's where you're going to add your website. You could also add a link to something, a landing page, a newsletter, something like that. For us, we've got our website. That is one of the actions I want people to take when they land on my profile, and they'll see that at the very top of the profile. I would also update your public profile and URL. So it's not www.linkedin.com/ your name and then a bunch of numbers. Just go in and edit that, edit your custom URL and take out the numbers so it's just your name. This will help with people search your name, or from an SEO standpoint, it's more likely that you'll come up in search. So if you scroll down, the About section is where you're basically going to take that headline and that banner, and now you're going to elaborate on it. There's a lot of different templates on here. My recommendation is to jump out right away and speak to the core problem or pain point that your client has that you solve for. I scroll down a little bit further, and this is a really important part of the LinkedIn profile, which is the featured content section. This is a great place to convert. I recommend at least 1, at max 3, what I call pass to conversions, meaning that they're going to click on this button, click on this thumbnail, and they're going to go somewhere that you want to take them to either get them closer to becoming a customer or to booking a call to get them bottom of the funnel talking to you within the next few days or in the next couple weeks. What I don't want to see in the featured content section of your LinkedIn profile is your highest performing post that you shared a couple months ago, because that doesn't matter to your customers. They don't care that you had a post that got 200 likes, especially if it doesn't really tie into what they're going to be looking for on your profile anyways. To me, that's just irrelevant. It's like, okay, you're showing that you can get some engagement on LinkedIn. Great. But unless you're selling LinkedIn services, is that really going to help you? So things we've had before on our featured content section are things like book a video chat with me now. 1 click. They're on my Calendly. They fill out a quick form. They're booking a call with me. 2, check out our services, pricing, and how we work with clients. Notice I didn't just say, check out my website, because to me, it's like, website for what? I want to say, hey, check out my services, my pricing, how we work with clients, because that's really what they want when they're going to the website anyway. So why not just come out and say that versus check out my website here? And then lastly, we typically want some type of either lead magnet or opportunity to take them to owned content channels. That could be like an email list, for example, where we're getting them off LinkedIn and we're transferring that attention to another place. So you can see when I look at my LinkedIn funnel, I'm like, well, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get people on the platform, have them clearly understand that the problem I solve, the one problem I solve, the solution we have, and then I'm getting them to take action. And it depends on where they're at in the customer buyer journey. It's either, hey, are you ready to talk to me? Great. You still want to check out my pricing, client testimonials? That's totally fine. Or hey, maybe you're not ready for either one of those, but you want to get on the email list because you want exclusive content that I only share there. And now I've got an opportunity to get you down that path later on. So you should be able to articulate, again, 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most, path to conversion. This is exactly where I'm trying to take people. And guess what? All of your other platforms and channels should probably align with that too. Your website should align, your YouTube channel, your TikTok channel, all of them should align. We shouldn't be trying to take people 5 to 10 different places. That doesn't make any sense. The other thing I would add on here is just make sure that you got somewhat recent recommendations and social proof from clients that have worked with you before. You can simply ask someone to fill out a recommendation for you. It's pretty simple. I'm not saying every customer is going to flock to this and make their buying decision based on this, but it is nice because some people do check that. Just like I would also encourage you to have video testimonials and client recommendations and success stories on your website and landing pages and things like that too. So number 3, how to social sell the right way that allows you to start booking meetings on the LinkedIn platform in the first 30 days of being on there, even if you're not even posting content yet, although that's definitely going to help warm things up. There's 2 subsections of this that I want to just hone in on. The first subsection of number 3 is daily engagement that you really need to be doing on the platform as you're posting your content and going about your day. I don't want you spending all day on LinkedIn commenting and engaging like the influencers do, but I do need you to be a little bit active. It is a business community and you do got to show up. So best practices for that, and this is something that I do, whenever you're going to post, let's say it's 7:30 in the morning, roughly around that time for us, carve out 20 to 30 minutes where you're also going to engage with other people's content. And ideally, some of that is ideal clients' content, but some of that could be other colleagues, partners, other people that are actively creating content in the feed and actively engaging in the feed. So if you can comment on 10, 15, maybe even 20 posts per day. Maybe you carve out 20, 30 minutes in the morning and then you check back later on because people have commented on your content. You use that time to engage a little bit with more people. That's going to keep you active enough from a platform algorithm standpoint, but also from a reciprocity standpoint, which you need in the beginning, where people are going to see your content and say, hey, Johnny, Sally, they engage with my content. I'm going to show some love back. Once you get established on the platform, I would say this is not as important, but I think in the beginning, this is a great way to jumpstart your own content. And think about this, as you're doing it, if you're commenting on some of your ideal clients' post, you're going to be starting conversations. You're building trust. You're showing up in their comments as a supporter, not necessarily a salesperson, which gives you more permission now to send a connection request, to send a DM, to start a conversation, to book a call with them. All of these good things are happening. You're at the largest business community in the world. So why wouldn't you want to show up there? The other types of daily engagement and work you should be doing on LinkedIn is looking at your profile views, looking at your comments, your engagements, people liking your posts. And you should be going through there and then starting conversations with those people because they're basically demonstrating buyer behavior to a certain regards. If someone's going to your profile because they've seen your content or see your comment, it means they're interested in what you do. So you can absolutely send a connection request or engage with their content or DM them and say, hey, just out of curiosity, was there anything on my profile that you were looking for that maybe you didn't find? Anything I can send you that might be of value to you? Just anything pique your curiosity. You could also offer up free resources and things like that. I just wouldn't go full on sales mode at this point. You're going to turn them off. And then when you're going through your engagement, people liked your post, comment, and it's a target client, it's an easy way to hit them up and say, hey, thanks for checking out my video on XYZ. And then just ask a question, start a conversation. Hey, what about that stood out? Or hey, have you guys started doing that in your business? I'm just curious. Easy way to turn that into a conversation. And now you're coming in warm versus cold. The second part of this subcategory, and something that I promised I would tell you about earlier, is the secret secondary feed of LinkedIn that no one has probably told you about before that is full of your ideal clients and prospects. Now, full disclosure, this is part of LinkedIn. You access it on LinkedIn, but it's a product of LinkedIn called Sales Navigator. It's the #1 social selling tool on planet Earth as it sits today. So when it comes to using Sales Navigator, and you can use this for some warm stuff too, but mostly it's cold, right? You're coming on the platform and you want to find ideal clients on LinkedIn and you want to start engaging with them, connecting with them, sending them messages and start booking calls within that first 30 days. This is exactly how you do it. And you're not going to be all salesy and automate this and sales pitch everyone. That is the quickest way to ruin your personal brand, I think, in a lot of ways, or at minimum diminish it. And also it's not going to convert. No one's going to respond to you because people get sales pitches every day and we don't respond to those types of messages. So if you're on Sales Navigator, I'd follow the core 4 strategy. Search, You got great search capabilities in there. You can drill down by have they posted content recently on LinkedIn, their job titles. You can even search by revenue, company size, industry, geography. There's a million different search criteria, and it seems to be getting better by the week. Once you've searched, you can save those search lists so you can come back to them and it'll show you updates of new people that have been added to it. Then you want to go engage. Now, most people skip this part and they go right to connect and message, connect and message. Don't do that. Okay. We're a sniper here. We're not a machine gun just mowing people down. All right. That spray and pray does not work on LinkedIn. Once you find them, tab them out. I'd tab 10 people out at a time. Go to that tab, go to their LinkedIn profile in the regular LinkedIn, which Sales Navigator allows you to do with one click of a button. They've got content out there. Go engage with that content. That's going to warm up the conversation. And you may engage a couple different times. You can save them to your lead list, whatever your process is. Then you send them the connection request, but now it's warm because now you're mentioning, Brandon, loved your post about leadership principles. I had the same experience. I worked for a boss that really changed my life, or I had the opportunity to do this, this, and this, and here's what I learned. Great stuff. Keep it short. Keep it about their post and them, not you and your products and services, and they will accept that connection request more often than not. And the last part of this is we message. We send a DM. Okay. Now, whether you do it after the first comment or the 15th, it just depends on your process, size of client, sales process, and really just you. But now we can send a video DM or an audio DM or a text DM. And now we can start conversations that are going to turn into meetings. So again, I think there's really two ways to do this. One, it's asking a good question based on maybe the post they had, or if they've engaged with your post, just a really solid question that you think they would respond well to. Or we offer up something of value. We could say something like, hey, I know you're a CEO at a tech company. Over the last 6 months, I've talked to 30 plus CEOs of tech companies. And a problem they seem to all have across the board is X, Y, and Z. And we found a pretty good workaround for this and some really cool solutions that I think you might be interested in. Not even our product or service. I would just love to share some insights that I've learned from talking to these other 30 CEOs. If you'd be open for a quick chat, I'd love to have a call with you. If not, either way, great to be connected on LinkedIn. It's somewhat casual, but it's value added. You're sharing some level of expertise or insights that they would want access to. And it's all about you providing value to them. It's not about selling your products or services. It's not book a call with me to see if we can be a fit or schedule a demo here. It's, hey, I just want to let you know, I see you're a CEO at a tech company. I talked to 30 other CEOs over the last 6 months. I've learned some incredible things about this one core problem that they all seem to be struggling with. I don't know if it's a problem for you, just a shot in the dark here. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if it is, I'd love to share with you some valuable stuff from sharing it with other CEOs has really changed how they look at this problem and help them solve it. So if you're open for a 20, 30-minute chat, would love to do it. Either way, great to be connected with you. Hope you have a great day. That's how it's done. A lot of people right away, as soon as they get on LinkedIn, how do I scale my DMs? How do I scale my messages? Like, stop worrying about scaling your DMs on LinkedIn. Start worrying about getting good at it first. Once you get good at it, then you can pick out the things that work well and the things that don't. And you can start figuring out, all right, how do we operationalize this? How do we make this more efficient? How do we start to sort of scale this up? But the personalization, the context, the value for the person that you're sending it to, it has to be there. So a few minutes ago, you clicked on this video and you were hoping to learn how to win clients on the LinkedIn platform and how to build your personal brand there. I hope you have learned that. I would say this, as big as video is getting now on LinkedIn and how much they're prioritizing it in terms of impressions and reach and engagement and all this, you definitely should check out this video on how we're able to post 40 plus videos across a few different social media apps and how it's completely changed and transformed our business for the better. If you're looking for more impressions, engagement, inbound leads, the more videos you do, the more you're going to get at that. But here's the thing, the quality has to be good. It can't just be posting more. It's got to be, the quality has to be the same or even higher. So to do that, you need the right processes, the right people and team in place, and the right overall strategy. And I go through all of that in that video. So thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that now and make sure you check out that other video before it disappears. Thank you.